Yo, welcome to the Cortez Hustle Show, live and direct from the Monetize My Life studios here in St. Louis, Missouri. Good morning, good morning, good morning, and happy Friday to you people. Quick shout out to the sponsor, Monetize My Life. Listen, man, if you have a gift, talent, special ability, and you don't know how to package and present that to the marketplace, then you want to go and get your free copy of Monetize My Life. The book, it's an easy, quick read. You'll discover the four incredibly simple ways to turn your passions into profit with little to no startup cost. Go to monetizemylifenow.com and grab your copy. Yes, you are in for a treat. Today we continue our Friday edition of the Cortez Hustle Show, where we talk about Black economic empowerment, and we are doing a study on the book by George C. Fraser, Dr. George C. Fraser, Race for the Cure, the 10 Best Business Opportunities for Blacks in America. Do me a huge favor, as you guys are popping on, go ahead and comment in the chat where you're from. Also, drop the name of your business and or your brand. I'd love to give you a free shout out on the show if you are an entrepreneur. Do not hesitate and don't underestimate the power of free. I love connecting with other entrepreneurs, and if you are dynamic and have a great story to tell, I might even want you as a guest on the show this morning. So let me go ahead and roll our intro, and let's get right into the meat of today's topic, where we're going to be talking about beyond the talent. Right? How do you make money in the entertainment industry if you can't sing, rap, dance, act? Let's get into it.
Put the hip shit on the shelf, cause the way the real wealth is being real with self. My eyes done seen the glory of the coming of the left. I can't do it by myself, so I'm asking for help. It's time to switch it up, put the hip shit on the shelf, cause the way the real wealth is being real with self. My eyes done seen the glory of the coming of the left. I can't do it by myself, so I'm asking for help.
Money, money, money. That's all he talks
There's
about.
nothing wrong with being wealthy. Like Kanye West says, having money is not everything, not having it is. No, Deuteronomy 8:18 says God gives us the ability to create wealth.
Money is the root to all.
No, it's the love of money that's the root of all evil.
All like money. Oh, kid.
Yes, I do think about other things in money.
Money.
I'm just trying to leave a legacy for my family. Money's not everything, but when you got it, you can do some cool stuff. And now, your host for Talking Money in the Morning.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Cortez Hustle Show, coming live and direct from the Monetize My Life studios here in St. Louis, Missouri. If you do not have your copy of Monetize My Life, and you know deep down inside you got a gift, talent, or special ability that God has blessed you with, but you're struggling to package and present it to the marketplace, this book will help. And guess what? I want to bless you with a copy absolutely free. All you got to do is go over to monetizemylifenow.com. If you cover shipping, the book is yours, and we will send that right out to you. For those of you who do not know me, my name is H. Cortez, also known as the one and only financial health mentor, everybody's favorite fatherpreneur, again, from monetizemylifenow.com. And my entire mission is to empower you economically through financial literacy with a strong emphasis on personal brand development and, yes, entrepreneurship. I think entrepreneurship is the new retirement plan. So you, my friend, better get you some business. Speaking of business, do me a favor, go ahead and comment in the chat where you're from, and drop the name of your business and or your brand for a free shout out as we progress throughout the show. We're talking about the 10 best business opportunities for Black people in America. And I'm doing a study of the book by George C. Fraser, which is called Race for Success, right? The 10 best business opportunities for Blacks in America. And one of those business opportunities, according to the great Dr. George C. Fraser, is entertainment, right? Now, this book was written in 1998, so it is a little outdated. I will admit that. And when it comes to the entertainment section of this book, he focused more on the talent, right? And he did a lot on the behind the scenes stuff, but I want to help you guys understand something when it comes to business in 2020, ladies and gentlemen. If you guys have not recognized how the internet has literally changed the game for every industry, then you need to come out from under that rock that you are hiding under, right? See, when I'm thinking about entertainment, well, let's look at the talent first. And then we're going to talk about all of the other ways that you can make money in the entertainment industry, even if you are not the talent. But I don't want my people who've got gifts and talents, who can act, who can sing, who can rap, who can dance, who can draw, who can paint, right? I don't want them to miss the shift that has happened, that has already happened in the entertainment business. And that is, my friend, your ability more than any time in the history of entertainment is your ability to go direct to consumer with your talent. What does that mean, Cortez? See, back in the day, especially in Hollywood, especially in the music industry, especially in the art industry, right? You typically would require some sort of talent agent, some sort of approval of a major institution backing you, like a Hollywood studio, like a record label, like an art gallery, right? Well, guess what? It is 2020, my friend, and we have this wonderful tool that's easily accessed by all called the internet. And because we have the internet, we have the ability to manage and control the distribution of our very own works, in which case, and in most cases, we can own and control the profits, right? So as you guys are popping on, make sure that you comment in the chat the name of your business and or your brand so I can shout you out. You never know who might want to connect with you based on hearing me shout out your business and your brand on the Cortez Hustle Show. But let's take a look at the music industry, because I think it's very easy to draw this parallel, and then we'll jump into Hollywood and some of the other arts as well. But when you had the ability, or you thought you had the ability and the talent to sing and perform, or rap, or play an instrument at a high level, you needed the approval of a major label or studio to even get your work out, right? Well, now, not only do you not need the approval, because before it was the thought process was, I need to be signed with a label so I can get into a good quality studio so I can record a decent project. Well, because of the internet, because of the speed in which technology is evolving, you can now, with a laptop and a microphone, literally produce a high quality album with some of the softwares that are available, and they're bringing the ability to create quality productions to the common person. So no longer do you need a major label to record a quality project, right? Now, you used to also need a major label to get distribution, right? How will people find this wonderful project that I created? Well, you get with a major record label, they have A&R people, they'll discover you, they'll bring you in, they'll groom you, and then they will take your project to all of their connections across the different mediums to get your information, or to get your project played on the radio, for instance, inserted into movies and commercials and all kinds of stuff to get you notoriety, to get you publicity, maybe even shoot a music video for you and all of those things. Well, today, my friend, in 2020, that model has changed dramatically. See, we don't need those things if you are a musician, if you are a singer, if you are an actor, if you are a rapper. You can create your own projects and distribute those projects yourself create your own buzz and go direct to the consumer with your project. And here's where your personal ambition must be clearly defined, because at the end of the day, you have to answer one question. What are you doing it for? See, if you are doing this for fame, then perhaps you would need to go the old school or the traditional route, because they are known to make you famous. If you, however, are doing this to be able to make money from your talents, then you might want to go the independent route. And here's why. See, when I distribute my products, I create my own buzz. I own 100% of my distribution and my projects, and I create a fan base, say of, I don't know, 15, 20,000 people, right? I have a strong, fervent fan base of just 15 to 20,000 people, right? That does not make me famous. However, it could get me paid off my gifts and my talents. Because imagine you got 20,000 people that are diehard fans of you and your work. When I mean diehard, I mean they will buy every project that you put out. They will drive hundreds of miles to come see you perform. They will buy the collector albums. They will buy your merchandising. 20,000 diehard fans. Now, if the goal is to eat off your talent and not necessarily be famous, then a strong fan base of 20,000. Just imagine if those people were buying just $10 worth of stuff from you every single month. Just $10 worth of stuff from you every month. Whether it is a t-shirt where your profit is $10, whether it is a new music release where your profit is $10, whether it is a live stream of one of your performances or rehearsals, whatever the case may be. 20,000 people spending $10 with you per month. And that's your profit, right? Come on, man. Can you count 10 times 20,000 is $400,000 per month? I'm just saying, you don't need a whole lot of people if the goal is to make money off your talent. Now, if the goal is for you to make fame and to become famous off your talent, then you need a lot of money. But watch this. When you do it the independent way, and say before you get to the place where you're making 400 grand a month, you got just 1,000 diehard fans. And those diehard fans are spending that same $10 profit with you every month. So you're at $10,000 per month. Do you think you can leverage that $10,000 every month to open some doors for you to get your product out there in front of more and more people? Absolutely. With the way social media is set up today, come on, man. The game is set up for you to win right out of the gate, right? Now, problem with that is so many people despise humble beginnings. See, you want to start your career at the top. I know a lot of people want to do that. Hey, man, I got this project. It's my first project ever, and I just want to get signed, and I just want to blow up. It's not usually how it works. So let's go through some of the different aspects of the industry, starting with Hollywood, and then we'll break down some of the not so known ways that you can make a ton of money in the entertainment industry, even if you are not the in front of the screen talent so to speak. And again, we are looking at race for the cure. This is Dr. George C. Fraser's book on 10 best business opportunities for Black people in America. So when you look at the different areas of production for TV and radio, or I'm sorry, TV and movies, films, big screen, right? Talks about the different aspects. So writers, for instance, right? Writers don't have a lot of the fame, but you're not seeing any movie, any TV production, any commercial without writers, right? And one of the things that we tend to do in our community is we are quick to tell someone who is an intellectual that they are a nerd, or we intelligence shame people for having an avid hunger and appetite for reading books and stories and certain types of information, right? Not knowing that all of those fantasy books, those comic books that maybe your son was into, those mystery books that maybe your daughter was into, who knows that the consumption of those things could take them down the path of becoming the next great writer, from writing books to writing movie scripts to writing commercials, all sorts of things. But we will shame you in a minute for trying to be intelligent in our community. And that is something that must stop, right? So from writers to story analysts and editors to script girls or script guys, producers. This is one that I want to touch on real quick because we are starting to understand the power of money and how money works in this economy and how investments work. And I don't know if you knew this or not, but producers are really just investors, right? So it says producers are responsible for all money matters regarding a project, including financing the production. The executive producer may be an investor living in another country who never sets foot on the set. But the line producer works closely with the directors to select the script and stars, and may even specify the shooting location because these are issues that affects the film's bottom line. So one of the things that we tend to argue and fuss about in our community is the fact that we see a lot of the same old stories over and over and over again. Well, a lot of that is because the people who finance movies for Black America, they believe that there is a certain formula to get a return on their investment. They believe that Black people will only go see and support slapstick comedy, right? Where we are buffooning and clowning around. And you can't get mad at these people because they are investing, right? They believe that Black people will only see and support movies where we are portraying gangsters and thugs, right? And he even talks about here in the book, the boys in the hood phenomenon, right? That is what they believe. So if we are sick and tired of seeing the same stories, then it is our job to become producers and executive producers, so we put the money behind the films that we want to see. It doesn't get any simpler than that, right? Then it talks about African Americans with the clout and the financing to form their own production companies can shape the way people of color are portrayed on the screens. So those are some of the things that we have to consider. And again, if we look at the way technology has shaped and transformed all of the industries, including movies. Guys, it doesn't take a whole lot of money to produce some small projects, and keeping with our model of owning our production and not despising humble beginnings, maybe we don't try to produce blockbuster films. Maybe we produce for 10, 15, 20,000 bucks short films where they've got great stories, and we market those to a small audience, right? So we spend $20,000 or $30,000 on a short film, and it's got a great story, and we create our own buzz around that. Now we simply need to market that to what? 2, 3, 4,000 people, and if all 4,000 people spent $20 or spent $10 on that project, come on, man. You're making money on your investment. You're just not getting famous. And I think we're constantly confusing those two things. I know a lot of people who are famous don't have a lot of money. I know a lot of people who are not famous who are extremely wealthy, right? It says in trading, you have to be 100% confident that you have what it takes to become consistently profitable, yet stay humble enough to know that success in this business only comes to those who choose to learn from their mistakes. Please kindly inbox me or WhatsApp me. What is that about? Because you're talking about trading and we're talking about entertainment. Nevertheless, so when we come back on the other side of this break, man, we're going to dive into some of the other ways that you can make money in the entertainment business without being the talent. And then I'm going to break down, if you stick to the end of the show, how you can, even if you are not great at some of these things, how you can build your own brand and carve out your own lane in a particular niche to help you take your finances to the next level. So keep it locked right here. The Cortez Hustle Show is brought to you by Financial Health Mentor, practical proven wealth building strategies specifically for working class Americans. Go to financialhealthmembership.com, learn how to get your taxes down, credit up, get out of debt, and start accumulating assets. financialhealthmembership.com. Cortez Hustle Show is also brought to you by freefunnelmachine.com. If you've ever wanted to use sales funnels in your business, but not quite ready to fork over hundreds of dollars per month for funnel building software, then now you can incorporate sales funnels into your process absolutely free. freefunnelmachine.com includes free autoresponder, includes free training, and it is free for life. freefunnelmachine.com. The Cortez Hustle Show is also brought to you by Office Huddle Print Shop. All of the graphic designs, logos that you see for iHustle Media Group and the Cortez Hustle Show are courtesy of Office Huddle Print Shop. Check out their exclusive unlimited graphics package at officehuddleprints.com. The Cortez Hustle Show is a copywritten production of iHustle Media Group. Any unauthorized use of video, captions, audio, depiction of this show is strictly prohibited. iHustle Media Group, a better way to market. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Cortez Hustle Show. I'm your host, Cortez Hustle, also known as the one and only financial health mentor, everybody's favorite fatherpreneur, coming to you live and direct from the Monetize My Life studios here in St. Louis, Missouri. Listen, if you have gift, talents, or special abilities and you have not figured out how to turn those into profits, this book can help you. All you got to do is go to monetizemylifenow.com. You cover the shipping and the book is yours absolutely free. Ladies and gentlemen, we are continuing our discussion on the 10 best business opportunities for Blacks in America. And entertainment, we know, has served a small percentage of Black people well, right? We see the mega stars, the Beyoncés, the Denzel Washingtons, the Viola Davises of the world, the Kerry Washingtons, all of these people at the highest heights in the entertainment arena, ladies and gentlemen. But I want you to um, always be mindful that you don't have to make it to the highest of the heights to if being in this industry is fulfilling for you, if being in the entertainment industry is something that you are extremely passionate about, that you love, that brings you great joy, do not get it twisted that if you're not making millions of dollars, you're not successful. But also understand that when you know that we have the ability to go straight to consumer with our products, man. I don't know how well you guys paid attention to what Master P did and what um, Baby and Slim did with Cash Money Records. See, those guys were able to go straight to consumer with their own production. They recorded their own material. They produced their own CDs and they distributed their own CDs from their own record stores and out of the trunks of their cars, right? And they were able to then flip that money and to continue to move up the chain. Well, I want you to know that there are dozens, if not hundreds, of opportunities and niches and micro niches all in the entertainment industry that you can not only get your feet wet in these industries, but also feed yourself and systematically move yourself up the ladder. So let's just take, for instance, you are a photographer, right? And you have your small photography studio and you spend the bulk of your time taking pictures for families, right? Family reunion portraits and things of that nature. But you aspire to be in the entertainment industry. You aspire to be one day in the film industry or what have you. When I say that you can systematically move yourself up the ladder, that's exactly what I mean. See, you can start out as a photographer and maybe you're taking your family photos and that's what's putting food on the table. And maybe you get with all of the local entertainers in your area, right? And you do free headshots for all of the actors and actresses in your local community. You do free photo shoots for the up and coming rappers and singers. And why, Cortez, would I do that for free? Because you're trying to get your foot in the door. You're trying to get your foot in the door. And the best way to get your foot in the door is through service, ladies and gentlemen. You serve your way into the door, especially when you don't have money to buy your way into the door. The other thing that happens when you are doing these headshots for all of these people, you start building relationships. You start getting to know these people, and ultimately you get to know who they know, right? And that's how you start working your way into the industry. And then all of a sudden, somebody says, hey, who did your headshot? Hey, who did that photo shoot for you? I've got a new artist that I'm trying to break and I need somebody to do a good photo. Oh, well, I'm going to recommend this person over here. And that person could be you, right? And as you're moving through the ranks, it is your job to get to know the business, right? See, a lot of people think that people who are in Hollywood, people who are in entertainment in terms of the music business, they think those people got lucky. Well, you guys know what they say about luck. Luck is where opportunity and preparation meets. See, you could be doing your photography thing while at the same time you could be actually studying to be an actor if that's what you want to be. You could actually be studying to be a technician, but my camera is what got me in the door, right? You guys know Jamie Foxx is a classically trained pianist and music was his first love. But you know what got him in the door? His comedy. See, he would have never been able to create a music album if he didn't create the buzz and the name for being Jamie Foxx, the comedian, first. And then what he did was, which was brilliant, he introduced his singing and his piano playing into his comedy. So people would see that, oh, he tells jokes and, oh, Jamie can sing a little bit. And then as his celebrity continued to grow, then he was able to record a couple albums. Then his vocal and his piano skills ultimately led him to his Oscar award-winning portrayal of the legendary Ray Charles. See, it all came full circle, but where did he how did he get into the door? It was comedy that got him through the door. See, there's a lot of things that can get you through the door when it comes to this entertainment business, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about managers, lawyers, agents. There's a lot of things that get you to the door. Do you know what an agent really is paid for? An agent is paid primarily for two things: his connections and his ability to read and write contracts. That's pretty much what an agent is paid for. An agent is paid for his connections, right? So maybe as a photographer, you're doing all of these free photo shoots and you're just building that Rolodex of connections. You're starting to see, okay, this person brought this talent in for me to do a free photo shoot for them because they own this small label. Oh, but they own this small label, but they're also working with this bigger label, and they introduced me to this person so that I can take, and you start building these connections, right? It's called networking. And agents get paid for the size of their network and their level of influence within that network, right? Publicists, another group of people that gets paid for their network and their level of influence in that network and their ability to spin your story and make it great. That's what a publicist does, right? A publicist takes who you are and makes it grand. That's it. That's all a publicist does. A publicist will take a situation that happened for you. Maybe you got on the cover of a local magazine, right? A good publicist will take that act, and when they reposition you, who've gotten on the cover of a local magazine, man, you would swear that you were on the cover of the New York Times. You would swear that you were on the cover of Rolling Stones, right? A good publicist knows how to add that fire to every little thing that you do to make people pay attention to you, right? Promoters, technicians, ladies and gentlemen, these are all things that we tend to downplay because they're not sexy as being the lead actor in a movie. They're not sexy as being the lead vocalist or the star or that solo act, right? When we think about music, for instance, if somebody had told me when I was in the, I think I was in the 5th grade, now I was in the 6th grade when I first picked up a saxophone, because I couldn't play the trumpet, right? I tried playing the trumpet and I couldn't keep pitch. I was off key all the time. You know, trumpets, you got 3 keys, but you play a million notes, or 3 things that you manipulate to produce different keys, right? But out of those three things, you play a million notes, and I couldn't get that right. Saxophone, you push the key and you play the note, right? So I just had to memorize. So if somebody had told me when I first picked up a saxophone that that could have led me to doing the score for a movie like Star Wars, for instance. See, if someone had told me all of the avenues that are available to me to make money from this talent, I probably would have stuck with it. 'Cause I had a band scholarship to Lincoln University and the whole nine, man. I wasn't the greatest saxophonist, but what I couldn't do was see how, unless I became a Kenny G or a Bradford Marsalis or something like that, I couldn't see a saxophonist with a career outside of being a major act. But I didn't realize that I could have, with my musical talent, written music for commercials. I could have become a jingle man. I could have become a Dr. Dre. I could have become a Quincy Jones. See, we got to be careful, especially when we're dealing with our young people and the things that they aspire to do, and not limit their imagination because our imagination is limited. Right? See, this society has already told us that there's a few professions that make a lot of money. And we are trying like heck to send all of our children down this road of doctor, lawyer, engineer, and from the art side, you've got to be a Beyonce, you've got to be a Jay-Z, you've got to be a Denzel Washington or a Kerry Washington, and nothing else matters, right? But we know that there are cameramen behind the camera who are making a very, very good living for producing those films and those shots, those classic scenes of these movies that we all love. So when your son says, "Hey, mom, can I get a camcorder for Christmas?" Excuse me. We say, "What you gonna do with that?" Right? And that could be the beginning of a young Spike Lee. When your son says, "Hey, you bought my sister that karaoke machine and she's not using it anymore. Can I take it apart?" No, why would you do such a thing? It's a perfectly good karaoke machine, but nobody's using it. We're not realizing that little Johnny could become the person that builds the next evolution of karaoke machine by taking this one apart and seeing how it works. So we've got to be very careful because there's a lot of industries, there's a lot of niches that we can get into when we start thinking about this entertainment industry. See, I have a friend who I went to high school with, and he's not a rapper, he's not a lyricist, he doesn't sing, and that wasn't his talent. But he danced, he loved dancing, right? And he was so passionate about that that led him to becoming the longtime hype man in the group known as the St. Lunatics here from St. Louis, in which brought us the likes of Nelly and Ali and Murphy Lee, right? Well, he was the guy who wore the mask and he was the hype man, the Flavor Flav, if you will, to the St. Lunatics as Flavor Flav was to Public Enemy. Now, Flavor Flav did have a couple lyrics and he would time and time get on the mic. This was not Slow Down's deal, but his love for dance and his love for hip hop got him to a place where he wanted to be. So we've got to stop killing our kids' imagination because we can't see, um, where their talent is going to lead them to. I think what we can do, though, is do a little study and do a little research. And then if they're going down a particular lane, then perhaps we can then help them see all of the different things that they could do. Is like if I go back to me and saxophone, and instead of saying, hey, you know, yes, you can get a band scholarship. And I think after I stuck with it so long, that became, okay, let's get a band scholarship. Okay, cool. But even beyond that, I think it would have served me well if I had some adults in my life say, hey, you know what? If you really, really learn music, not just that instrument, but maybe some other instruments, if you start paying attention to everywhere that music lives, and you start hearing music in commercials, you start hearing music in movies, you start hearing music not just on the radio in terms of the songs they play, but the music behind the jingles and the commercials that they play on the radio, you'll realize that music is everywhere. And because it's everywhere, you don't have to pigeonhole yourself down because you play saxophone. You got to think you got to be a jazz saxophonist. You could do a lot of different things with this talent. I think those are some of the conversations that we have to have. But we've got to be in position ourselves as parents, to have enough energy at the end of the night in order to make some of those things happen. So when we come back on the other side of the break, I'm going to talk about why just getting started in these industries can lead to you building generational wealth, even if you never make it to the highest of the highs, but just by starting a business in the music industry can transform your life. So let's cut to this commercial break and I'll be right back.
I have done 2 prior Longevity Better Health Now challenges. I decided this time around I needed an extra push. A good thing to remember is 32 pounds is the weight of my 3.5-year-old son, and I am not carrying around a 3.5-year-old basically.
I'm a mother of 4. I just want to see how healthy I can get so that I can be around for a while. It's pretty amazing whenever you're excited to get on the scales every morning and see what the numbers are instead of dreading it.
When I went to convention last year, the day of the 5K, this lady, Merle, came across the finish line, and she was visually impaired, she was blind. From this day forth, I said, I'm changing my lifestyle, and I'm just gonna be a whole new me.
I was out of control. I really let myself go. And I thought, okay, who loses 12 pounds in a week? I'm like, this is such a joke. But it happened, and it happened again and again and again. Anybody can do this. If I can do it, you can do it.
Leading up to today has been a whirlwind, but I feel amazing. Everybody makes you feel really awesome when you come here too, so it just kind of like heightens your excitement about everything.
I feel so much better. If I could help just one person be able to do that for their life, then it'd be worth it all.
I feel amazing. I can't believe how far I've came from last year to this year.
I have kept my weight off within 2 to 5 pounds, which is a complete miracle. Let's go!
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Cortez Hustle Show. I'm your host, Cortez Hustle, coming to you live and direct from the Monetize My Life studios here in St. Louis, Missouri. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have gift talents and special abilities and you have struggled in the area of packaging and presenting those gifts and talents to the marketplace so that they can make room for you at the top, then this book will be of a great help to you. You'll learn the 4 incredibly simple ways to profit from your passion with little to no startup costs. All you got to do is go to monetizemylifenow.com and get your copy absolutely free. You cover shipping and the book is yours, and I'll get it right out to you today. So we're talking about the 10 best business opportunities for Blacks in America. And this really should just be the industries, because this is coming from Dr. George Fraser's book, Race for Success, right? And One of the 10 best opportunities he's identified is the music industry. Now, that book was written in 1998, guys, and when I'm looking at it through 2020's eyes, I'm looking at, okay, we have the internet, we have social media, we have the ability to podcast, we have the ability to live stream, we have all of these tools at our resource. So we have the ability to go straight to consumer without needing the middleman, right? So if you look at my book, for instance, right? This is me going straight to consumer. I could have written this book and sent it to 1,000 publishers and waited to see which one of those publishers was going to pay me to publish the book. In other words, buy the rights and give me a few cents on every sale. Or I could publish it myself, retain all the rights, and I could do what I needed to do to get the book out, right? The same is true in the entertainment industry across all of the niches and the micro niches and sub niches. And here's why you've got to go ahead and pursue your passion in the entertainment industry, whether it is as a singer, whether it is as a writer, whether it is as a graphic design person, whether it is as a photographer, whether it is as an acting coach. Ladies and gentlemen, in this country that we live in, called America, the system of economics that we have come to adopt is called capitalism. Capitalism says those who know are able to capitalize on those who don't know. Now, a lot of times we think that's a negative thing. No, my dry cleaner knows something about removing stains that I do not know. Shouldn't they be able to capitalize on that knowledge? Absolutely. Now, they shouldn't be trying to charge me $1 million to remove a stain off a $12 shirt, right? But they should be allowed to capitalize off what they know. So, what I'm saying to you is this. My good friend Trevor Otts says all the time, there's more in what you know than what you do. So if you know how to take great photos and you are in the industry, if you know how to network and make great connections, and that has led you to a career in the industry, that is one great thing. However, you're leaving money on the table if you have not written a book or created a course or something to teach people what it is that you know. Yeah, I mean, you got to understand. I know how to self-publish a book, right? Because I've done it. This is my second book that I've self-published, and they both sell pretty well, right? So I know how to do that. Now, I can make a decent amount of money on selling my books, right? But how many people are there out there who also have a book in their head and they would like to know what I know about how to self-publish? So I can create a course on how to self-publish a book. Now I'm making money off the book sales, and I'm making money off the sale of the course that teaches people how to self-publish. The other thing that you have to look at, this country was built for business people, by business people, and to benefit business people. So just because I have a book and I'm an author, that makes me an entrepreneur because I have a product that I sell. So what that does is it repositions me on the other side of capitalism. See, you're saying, well, Cortez, what side of capitalism is that? Well, there is the consumption side of capitalism, and then there is the producer side of capitalism. Do you guys know that the producer side of capitalism pays less taxes than the consumption side? See, the consumption side are generally people who have to go and work for someone else to earn their money. So there's an income tax on the money that they earn. And then as they practice consuming, there's a tax on everything that they buy called a sales tax. On the other side, though, at the producer side, I get tax breaks from being a producer, right? I'm sitting in my home studio recording this podcast for you guys, and I'm loving every minute of it. But I also get to write off my internet, my electricity, the purchase of my laptop, my equipment. See, this is how you can finance your passion. See, a lot of people will not go after their passions because their passions are usually not in things that make them money right away. And because my passion isn't feeding me, I tend to put my passion on the back burner. Whether that passion is acting, whether that passion is dancing, whether that passion is singing, whether that passion is photography, whether that passion is art, whether that passion is playing sports. See, we tend to put that passion on the back burner because we haven't figured out how to make it feed us. Therefore, we have to go get another way to feed ourselves, called a job in most cases, or some sort of business enterprise that is not related to our passion. And as a result, we are then pulled further and further away from our passion until we end up giving it up altogether. So, starting your journey in entertainment with the understanding that as an entertainer, I am an entrepreneur. As an entrepreneur, I'm allotted certain rights under the tax laws of this country, if you're in America, that is, to save money on taxes. See, a third of your income is going to taxes. If I bring that money back into my household, that's going to free up some money that I can use to pay off my debts. And as long as my debts are down and I'm not paying that much in taxes, I've got a little extra money that I can pursue my dreams. So now I've got a few dollars that I can pay for some acting classes. I've got a few dollars that I can pay for some vocal lessons, some music lessons. So you can fund your passion when you understand that as an entertainer, you're an entrepreneur, right? You go get hired on somewhere and you get a role. How are they going to pay you? They're going to pay you via a 1099. Why? Because you are a business entity. And if you don't understand the tax laws of being a business entity as an entertainer, I promise you, you're leaving thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars on the table every year. And it's probably causing you some financial stress that you would not have to deal with if you understand how the game is played. So take those gifts, take those talents, and yes, pursue those dreams with a passion, but create your business entity, right? And do all of those things as a business so that you can legally lower your taxes. That's going to save you taxes coming out of your paycheck on your job. That's going to free up some money for you so that you can start investing more into your gifts and your talents. See, what you got to understand, there was 4 groups of people that got paid during the California Gold Rush. 4 groups of people that got paid during the California Gold Rush. There was the people who actually struck gold, right? Some of them struck gold big. Some of them just found a few nuggets, but they struck gold, right? And that made it all worth it for them. Then there were the people who manufactured the tools and the equipment that people needed to go and mine and pan for gold. A lot of those companies are still around today. Different names, different variations, but a lot of those companies are still around today. They manufacture the tools that you need to pan for gold. Then you had the people who were not the manufacturers of the tools, but they knew of the towns where the gold was being mined at, so they set up their shops and their stores so that they could sell the miners the tools. They set up their shops and their stores so they could sell clothing items, hats, boots to those in the industry. They set up their shops and their restaurants so they can feed the miners. And those people made a ton of money. And a lot of those businesses are still around today because they were family businesses, right? Then you have the people who financed those businesses in order to make that work. Ladies and gentlemen, when you see entertainment, you should be seeing entertainment through that lens. Are you the person that is seeking to strike gold? Are you trying to become the next Beyonce or Jay-Z? Nothing wrong with that, right? Because like I said, some people struck a vein of gold and they were able to mine gold for years. Some people only found a nugget or two. So for every Beyonce and Jay-Z, there's thousands of would-be Beyoncés and Jay-Z's that are at that level only in their city or their town. And that's okay. That could be a life of fulfillment for you, right? But you should also be looking at, okay, maybe I really don't want to be a Beyonce or a Jay-Z. Maybe I want to be the company that manufactures the tools and the resources that the Beyoncés and Jay-Z's will need to fulfill their dreams and passions. So maybe you develop the next wave of recording equipment. Maybe you are developing the next material that Beyonce is going to be able to perform in that doesn't, get messed up when she sweats or whatever. I don't know. Maybe you are developing the next wave of microphones, earbuds, and a lot of people think that that is far-fetched. And it's really not, because sometimes it's not you developing as much as it is you creating partnerships and alliances with people who have those skills, right? Maybe you're developing the next app that's going to allow people to record their music and their movies at a higher quality, right, with less technology, right? So maybe you're the manufacturer. Maybe you're not the talent. You're not going to strike gold. Maybe you're not creating the equipment that these people will need to have the success. Maybe you are the retailer that has decided that, hey, I know all singers need this particular tool, and I'm going to be the e-commerce store that sells it to them. And I'm going to service all the singers all around the world. I know that certain singers love this particular costume. I'm going to be the retailer that sells them this costume. I know that singers in this particular city, when they come through, they love to eat this kind of food. So I've got this restaurant set up, right? I know that when all of the entertainers flood out of this particular studio, they're hungry. So I've got me a little food cart right here for them when they pull out, right? Maybe you are the person who sets up the e-commerce store and you're selling the microphones, the earphones, the softwares, and everything that all of these up-and-coming would-be superstars needs as they're getting started on their journey to being the next Beyonce or Jay-Z. And last but not least, maybe you've done well for yourself in your career. Maybe you have come into an inheritance of some sort. Maybe you want to be the person that puts the money behind these companies to make it all work. There's a lot of opportunity in the land of entertainment. You have to be trained to see it. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to wrap up the show for today. I appreciate you guys for all tuning in to the Cortez Hustle Show. One last shout out to my sponsor, Monetize My Life. If you, my friend, have gifts, talents, and special abilities that you are struggling to package and present to the marketplace, go grab your free copy of Monetize My Life. And you'll learn the 4 incredibly simple ways to profit from your passions with little to no startup costs. All you have to do is go to monetizemylifenow.com. The book is yours free. All you do is cover shipping. Till I talk to you guys next time, I want you to get your money up because you absolutely can do it. But more importantly, you deserve to do it. Each and every single one of you. Now hustle up.